why did you decide to shake up your leadership team in Minnesota and send Tom Homan?
I do that all the time. I shake up teams. Everybody here, these are a lot of owners of farms and places, and you shake up your team. If they can't do the crops fast enough, look, we have an incredible team. We did something that nobody said was possible. We did something that I would say people thought that was absolutely impossible, and we were able to do it. So we're very honored by what's happened to our country.
It's President Donald Trump last night visiting a diner before he gave a speech, and he's talking about crime and addressing the immigration issue in Minnesota. As the president shakes his team up, taking Gregory Bavino and moving him out and bringing Tom Homan in, and Tom Homan touching base with local leaders there. It is Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and wake up with us each and every weekday morning. So the president talking about crime and bringing it down, but obviously with that shakeup, he talked about how he's working to de-escalate the situation and the tensions in Minneapolis after the shooting death of Alex Preddy. Here is the president talking about addressing crime.
Just had a crime report coming out from, I think, one of the networks, which they hate to hear this, but crime is the lowest number ever recorded. Yeah. So, we talk about Minnesota, but in Minnesota, you probably read, their crime is way down. You know why? Because we took out thousands of criminals out of Minnesota, and that's why it's good.
But obviously, you've got the questions and concerns about how that's being conducted with that shooting death of Alex Preddy, and also the police-involved shooting death of Renee Good, both who showed up to official immigration enforcement operations and seemed to be impeding those operations. Preddy having a firearm on him. Trump saying that you shouldn't be showing up to these types of places with firearms.
Do you think he was acting as an assassin in Minneapolis?
Who is that?
Mr. Preddy, your deputy chief of staff said that. You don't think
With that being said, you can't have guns. You can't walk in with guns. You just can't. And you can't, listen, you can't walk in with guns. You can't do that. But it's a very unfortunate.
So the president saying that you can't walk into these areas with firearms, and still an investigation ongoing with that. But Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson talking yesterday about how he wants the city of Chicago to do something about prosecuting what he says are bad actors in the federal government.
We have to seriously look at how local government can ultimately not just bring charges and investigation against the federal overreach, but how we can create a process that allows for prosecution of these individuals on the streets across this country.
And obviously with the situation in Minneapolis still very much top of mind, that's where the mayor is training his focus, and again talking about the steps that he thinks Chicago can take to have some more accountability for ICE.
Specifically, we are discussing an amendment that would allow COPA to investigate alleged violations of our Welcoming City Ordinance. This is an important amendment that we have championed since the internal review we conducted with our IMER team following the June 4th ICE raid.
So that ICE raid that he mentions there, there's a lot of discussion about a landlord who in an apartment building may have tipped ICE off, and there's a state investigation into that. And if so, I mean, you've got a private property owner who's tipping off law enforcement. I know that Illinois passed migrant sanctuary laws to essentially say that those here as non-citizens shouldn't have to fear going to police to report things, being the victim of a crime. But is the state going to look to investigate somebody who's reporting a federal crime? Is that going to chill other landlords in doing the same thing? We'll see how that situation plays out. But obviously, a lot of your tax dollars funding all of these operations, including the local governments who, in some jurisdictions, are opposing federal immigration enforcement. All right, it's Illinois in Focus Daily. I'm Greg Bishop. Wake up with us each and every weekday morning. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell right here with the Center Square.